how do we take a good hard look at ourselves? Self-evaluation is crucial to continuing to progress, continuing to grow, continuing to make strides towards our goal. So how do we really make sure we're staying on top of that? Well, that's what we're diving into. So strap in, get ready for episode 170. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host today. And if this is your first time listening, welcome to the show. I'm so glad you're here. For all my return listeners, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me. Now, before we dive in, if you have not grabbed your free meal plan, please text the word meal to 706-222-7551. You will get a couple texts just confirming that you're signed up to our text community in the process of that, and your link to your free meal plan PDF will be delivered to your phone. You can download it to your phone. Like, how easy is that? So definitely take advantage of that. All right, with that being said, let's dive in. So taking a hard look at ourselves. Sometimes we are overcritical of ourselves, but at the same time, it can be really hard for us to accurately judge ourselves. But it can be hard to just really evaluate where we're at. An unbiased opinion, because we're biased towards ourselves, whether that's in a negative light or a positive light, we are. And so it can be really hard to take a step back and be like, okay, where am I at? I had someone ask me a question the other day on, I think it was Facebook, and they were saying that somebody had filmed them doing an exercise, and they were talking about how someone had filmed them doing an exercise, and they realized that after watching it back, they were doing their form wrong, and they had been doing it for a long time, and they were a more experienced lifter, not a newbie, and it was just very eye-opening. And it really made me stop and think, how often are we really paying attention to what we're doing? When you wake up in the morning, you probably brush your teeth or, take a shower, eat some breakfast. You have a routine that you do without really thinking. You just go through the motions and you get it done. And you end up at work a couple hours later and you're like, yeah, I did my morning routine. But it wasn't like conscious effort. It was just kind of second nature. And I think that once we have been lifting for a little while, we can get in that zone where everything just feels second nature. And, oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing and, yada, yada. And it can be a very dangerous place to get, because we get comfortable, we get complacent, we get just in this mode that, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and we don't continue to grow, we don't continue to develop and, really refine our technique. So I want to encourage you to take a step back and maybe this week in the gym, just slow down. Don't worry about hitting new PRs, don't worry about even going for all your sets, all your reps. Just view it as a refocus week. Go in the gym, set your phone up, video yourself doing some lifts, that maybe some lifts that you haven't grown on lately, and film yourself and see if there's a reason. See if there's a reason that maybe you're not even thinking about, something in your form. Go back and watch these, review these. Make sure you're doing as many exercises as possible in front of the mirror and really be paying attention to the muscles you're working. Think about the mind-muscle connection. Are you feeling it in the muscles you're working? And if not, how can you adjust it so that you are? All these little things that we, just take for granted are so crucial to the development of our muscles, to the development of our strength. And again, we just get in this mode of, yeah, of course I know what I'm doing. Of course I know how to do this exercise. When we get comfortable in something and when we get used to doing it day after day, we get lazy in it. We do. You can probably think about like when you started your job, there was probably tasks that you really, really focused hard on and you just wanted to make sure that they were done absolutely perfect. And then the more you've been at your job, you still make sure it gets done and to standard, but it's probably not with the same minute detail as when you started. And again, I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but it can lead to problems if we're not careful. So in addition to, watching yourself, filming yourself, and just kind of slowing down and being aware, don't stop learning. There's never a pinnacle point of that everything. I literally learn new things every single week when it comes to fitness. And I've been doing this a while, and I watch a ton of stuff, and I listen to a lot of stuff, and I do that so that I can constantly be growing, I can constantly be learning, and I'm not stuck in this rut of just, I know this here, but I don't know that there. I encourage you to dive into research, and whether it's watching videos on YouTube, whether it's listening to this podcast or another podcast, or, reading some books on anatomy and physiology and understanding more how the body works, whether it's, watching a documentary, whatever it is, like whatever your thing is for how you like like to consume information, learn some new things. Try just different exercises. Maybe I said how you need to maybe do a refocus week in the gym. Try doing all new exercises. Why not? Maybe some you won't like, maybe some you won't be able to stand, but you might find a few new ones to add to your repertoire. So, watch a lot of stuff, dive into a lot of stuff, and just try new things. And we do that when we start off. Everything's new when we start off. All the exercises are new. All the eating is new. I'm not saying it needs to be that way forever, but it's good to bring that back up sometimes. It's good to come back to that place of self-awareness, that place of, I'm going to approach this with fresh eyes type of feel. Because again, we miss things and we get complacent in things and we get lazy. We do. And we can miss a lot of key components. So I encourage you, if you have never just taken a refocus week, to do so. And I know that when we do that, it feels like we're not doing anything. It feels like the week's just wasted and we could be gaining and we're not, but that couldn't be further from the truth. When we step out of our comfort zone, when we really start evaluating things, I'm telling you, your workouts are going to improve. When you make that mind-muscle connection, when you try new exercises, when you strain the muscles in ways they haven't been, that's what really, really brings about growth and change and strength in ways that we haven't seen before. So don't be afraid that you're going to lose. I mean, it's a week. Come on. Don't be afraid you're going to lose gains in a week. You're not. And you can approach this as well with your food. Maybe you think your nutrition is on point. Maybe you think you've got everything hammered down and nailed down, but really pay attention to every single thing you eat in a day. Maybe it's been a while since you've counted calories and macros. Just start plugging them into your app and see where you're at. Am I still on track with everything? Could I improve my macros? How is my protein intake? How is my fat intake? Is my fat intake too high? Is my protein intake too low? Am I getting all the right complex carbs that I should be? Or am I kind of sneaking in some carbs that maybe shouldn't be there? And, again, just step back and evaluate. Maybe try some new recipes. Grab that meal guide I mentioned earlier in the podcast and get some new ideas for maybe some new snacks, maybe some new meals that you haven't had before. Again, you're not going to like everything you try. You're not going to enjoy everything, but there's going to be some things that stick out. And that's what we're really going for. We're fine tweaking. We're, taking something that's good and we're making it better. It's not that there's anything bad necessarily with what's going on, but there's always room for improvement. Always. If anybody tells you there's no room for improvement, they're probably lying. Like, everything has room for improvement. Everything. No matter what we do, whether it's fitness related, whether it's work related, whether it's relationship related, there's always room for improvement. And it's okay admitting that. It's okay getting to that point of, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of failing in this area, or I kind of suck in this area. How can I improve it? And maybe while you're at all this, evaluating your food, evaluating your workouts, take some time to evaluate your life and how things are going. Are you happy with your work? Are you happy with your relationships? Are you happy with your day-to-day? And if not, what things can you do to improve it? How can you make things better? Because I say all the time, fitness isn't one-dimensional. It's not, we have this fitness life over here. It pours into everything. When we change our nutrition, when we change our physical health, it pours into all other areas. It pours into the mental side, relationship side, the work side, everything. So it only makes sense to start when we evaluate our physical and when we evaluate the nutritional, to evaluate our life. And so if you've never taken a refocus week, I just highly, I can't say it enough, encourage you to do that. All right. If you're on any social media platform, please come follow us. We have a great group over on Facebook. Just search Bones to Bulk. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube, youtube.com/Bones to Bulk, and everywhere else I am at Bones to Bulk. With that being said, remember, no matter what walls you're facing, what things you're coming up against, you can accomplish your goals. You've got this.